The man calling balls and strikes here this afternoon behind a home plate. Ichiro is going to be playing in a simulated game in Peoria today. Hit off the handle of the bat foul down the third baseline, and hopefully can get 10 or so at bats in that simulated game, and will be ready to go on Wednesday night against the Angels at Safeco Field, with opening night, of course, on Tuesday afternoon. The strike on the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes to count on Endy Chavez. Back behind the plate is Mike Redmond, who was really beat up. The kid from Spokane, hurt the other night, hit by a bat, and also pulled his groin a little bit as that soft line drive is hit right to Brendan Harris, the new shortstop for Minnesota. Speaking of the Angels, they received some terrible news today. Their starter from last night, Nick Adenhart, among 3 people killed in a crash in Fullerton when a driver ran a red light. An associate of the rookie player said this morning the crash occurred hours after Adenhart appeared in Wednesday night's Angel game. Just a terrible, terrible tragedy to the Angel organization. A strike on the inside corner. So our thoughts are with Adenhart, his family, and the Angel organization as they try and regroup from a terrible, terrible tragedy last night. Franklin Gutierrez is the hitter, and quickly 2 strikes. I guess you're very fortunate when you grow up and get to pitch in your own town.
Yeah, I think that is great. I know for myself, I was really happy to get traded to Seattle.
And that ball has got some pretty good juice behind it out there. It's going to take a hop off the base of the wall, one-handed by the center fielder Carlos Gomez, but he can't get it back to second base in time. And Franklin Gutierrez about 2 or 3 feet from hitting this one out.
Well, Perkins is being very aggressive with his fastball early in the game. We talked about it. He likes to pitch inside. Tries to come in on Gutierrez again. Doesn't quite get it in there, and he drills it into the left center field gap.
So here is Mike Sweeney getting the start this afternoon at first base. Junior is being given the day off. And Adrian Beltre, who's on deck, is being given the day off defensively. He is the designated hitter. A little high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to count. That's popped out of play off the first base side.
It's been really interesting to watch Don Wakamatsu in his lineup and even in his bullpen, trying to get everybody in the game and involved in this first series. Once he gets Kelly into a ball game out of the bullpen, he'll pretty much have accomplished that.
And Tuya Sosopo.
Yeah, Matt.
And that's lined into right field, but it's going to hold up for a shoestring catch. Good catch by Michael Kubdyer out there in right field. Ball hit hard.
The key to it is he gets a really good jump on this. Once the ball is hit, he doesn't hesitate and comes in on a sinking line drive. Not going to hit it much harder than Sweeney hit it, but a nice play by Kubdyer.
So Beltre now will try his luck against 26-year-old Perkins, Glenn Perkins. One and 0. Beltre's had his share of success against Perkins, 4 for 10 with a home run. And that's banged right back up the middle. He comes through around third base. Here comes Gutierrez. And just like that, the Mariners jump on top 1-0 as Beltre whistles one right back through the box to pick up his third RBI of the year.
And as you mentioned, Dave, good success. Sometimes you have a guy's number. That pitch is just belt high. Take a look at it right down the middle of the plate, and he hits it hard back up the middle.
1-0. And here comes Jose Lopez. Lopez had his first home run of the year last night. And he takes a strike on the outside corner on 1. Also had a base hit. And that's on the outside corner. This is Jose Lopez last night in the 4th inning off Kevin Sloy. And hit it well back 4 or 5 rows over the wall into left field for his first home run of the year. He's down 2 strikes. Slider got it. About 2-3 inches below the knees, and down on strikes goes Lopez, but the Mariners do get one here in the first, and they leave one. Underway, the Mariners won. Twins coming up. Back here in Minnesota, getting set to go to the Twins' first inning of play. The Mariners have picked up one. Let's look at their lineup, Mike.
Yeah, they have Span, Casilla, Kadire, Morneau, Creedy, Young, the DH, hitting 6th, Gomez, Redmond, and Harris is hitting 9th. And I'll take a look at Jared Washburn, his numbers last year.
And his fastball, a strike. To a guy you like to keep off the bases. This little guy can really motor. Denard Span, and he's an outstanding defensive outfielder also. And quickly 2 strikes on it. Couple of fastballs. As we mentioned, Washburn from Webster, Wisconsin. He said about 90 minutes away from the Twin Cities. Center field, left center field. Easy play for Mr. Gutierrez.
Take a look at the defense behind Jared today. In the outfield, you have Chavez, Gutierrez, and Ballantine getting the start in right field. At third base, it's Cedeno, Betancourt, Lopez. Sweeney's getting the start at first. And the battery today is Washburn and Rob Johnson getting his first start of the year behind the dish.
Alexi Casilla is a switch hitter. And, of course, against the left-hander up there right-handed. High and away, ball 1. 1 ball and No strikes to count. And the strike is taken. The Twins travel to Chicago for a series with the White Sox, who knocked them out last year in the sudden death game. The delivery's high and outside, which brings up a point. The Twins this year will travel 25,000 miles. The Mariners, 50,000 miles. Exactly twice of what they do. That's the advantage of a Midwestern team.
Absolutely is, and I don't care what anybody says, the amount of miles that the Mariners put on last year, I believe, was a record for them. It takes its toll on you. 50,000 miles, it's a lot of travel.
Maybe playable. Not quite. Rob Johnson getting his first start behind the plate. The young man from Montana. Kind of excited about getting that opportunity here this afternoon before the ball game. And that's hit into the gap in left center field. And this time, a backhanded stop by Gutierrez. An unbelievable play. And here comes Gardenhire saying that he trapped the ball out there. He's going out to run and check with Chuck Merriweather, but he just outran this ball. Look at Gutierrez go to backhand, and he made the catch. That's the catch of the year so far, even though we're only 4 games into the campaign. That kid can play center field.
He can go get him with the best of them, and even on that one, I didn't think he had a chance. That looked like he was in the gap all the way. And he really closed. Look at the long strides and catches it just before it gets to the ground. Tremendous effort by Gutierrez.
Great play by Gutierrez. And you can see that it was a legitimate catch. And now the other umpires are going out to confer with Chuck Merriweather to make sure they get the call right, but I think he got the call right.
I don't know why they would overrule Chuck. He was the closest one to the play on a play way out there. A tremendous catch.
Fabulous catch. And again, they're going to let it stand.
Oh, they got it right.
That man got it right. Chuck Merriweather.
Yes.
So 2 down. Michael Kadire is the hitter now, the right fielder. That young man can appreciate a catch like that. He's made a million of them in his fabulous career, getting the day off, Ken Griffey Jr. His days of getting a ball like that are probably over, but we remember the fabulous catches that he has made throughout his career, certainly at the Kingdom and on the road. Change, and nicely thrown that time by Washburn.
And I know Jared likes to throw his fastball and pitch inside to the right-handed hitters, but I think his changeup is getting better and better all the time, and I think it's an important pitch for him.
Just barely low. Full count, 3-2.
Not according to the tracer. Like a good pitch.
And that's strike 3 call. Nothing wrong with that baby right there. So thanks to a fabulous catch by Franklin Gutierrez. 1-2-3. The story for the Twins. It's 1-0 Mariners after 1. Gutierrez down in the dugout getting praise heaped on him from the master of that catch himself, Ken Griffey Jr., and the bullpen tipping their caps as he came off the field.
Yeah, it was really neat. John Wetland, they got the bullpen up to tip their cap. Good defensive play.
So we get set to move to the second inning of play, and Vladimir Valentin will lead it off. First VECU night now set for the 21st of April. The Rays will be in town, the defending American League champions, and all the seats are only $10 for information. Mariners.com has all the info for you. 1-1 the count on Valentin. Now comebacker. So one down. They used to have a pitcher here that may have been the best fielding pitcher I ever saw, although Mark Langston came close to it, but Jim Cott.
Was how many gold gloves?
Oh,
Like
10 or 11, yeah. 10 or 11 gold gloves. But inside corner strike on one. There's Kitty Cott, outstanding baseball analyst for several years with the Yankees. Got in his kitchen a little bit, and Johnson pops it up. So Gomez takes care of that. The versatile Ronnie Cedeno, who started in left field last night, gets a call at third base this afternoon. And he is the hitter now, the number 8 hole. He just joined us. Adrian Beltre's clutch 2-out base hit up the middle, driving in Franklin Gutierrez from second base with the only run of the game so far. Well, outside. And that's a line drive base hit off the bat of Cedeno into right field for the third hit.
Looks like a fastball out over the plate. See, short stride, not trying to do too much with it. Nice level swing. It's a bullet over the second baseman's head.
Mariners with 27 hits in the first 3 games of this series. Even though they've only won the opener on opening night, you've got 3 more here already today. Yuniesky Betancourt had himself quite a night last night. Went 3 for 4. Scored a run. And that's right back up the middle. Right there to underhand it is Casilla. And they get the fourth. At second base. A hit. A man left to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Mariners. Well, here is stepping up to the plate to start the Minnesota second, kind of the keynote speaker in last night's Twins victory, with a long home run into the upper deck in the first inning off Carlos Silva, and then a big leg double that paid off in the fifth inning as Jason Kubel behind him drove him in. This was in the first inning last night on a changeup, little doubt about it.
Early on in the game, looks like Jared has pretty good command of his fastball. When he's missing just off the edges. Try a slider right there.
And got him up and in with what was really ball three, but it was a fastball he couldn't lay off of.
This really ties Morneau up. I think he thought that pitch was going to cut back more across the plate. Slips a little bit.
Joe Creedy, the third baseman, has played in all 4 games, and of course he's got that surgically repaired back, and he's going to be playing a lot of third base on this carpet, and they're a little worried about that, playing him too much here at home anyway. Unique and easy play. So 2 down. A reminder that Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Sterling Savings Bank. Now, more than ever. Delman Young, the hitter now. And another easy play for Uni. And an easy second inning from Mr. Jared Washburn. Retired 6 in a row to start the ball game, and after 2, 1-0 Mariners. Okay. And welcome back to Minnesota, and it's time for our Aflac trivia question. And this is a very interesting question. And I'm not sure I know the answer. Perhaps we can bat it back and forth. Who am I? I am a 3-sport letter winner at the University of Minnesota. I played 2 seasons with the Lakers, with the NFL Eagles, and spent my summers as a hired gun on the Midwest minor league baseball team. I was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 1994. Strike on the inside corner, 1-1. I'm trying to think. Winfield, of course, was drafted by all 3, but never played in the NBA or football. And he's a Hall of Famer in baseball. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. And a ground ball into right center field for a base hit. And after a wide turn at first, Endy Chavez will pull up. I'm going to make a guess.
Okay.
Paul Giel. Ever heard of it?
No. What era are we talking about?
Oh, we're talking about the 50s, I guess.
Okay.
I was wrong, I'm told, but the same era in the 50s. Franklin Gutierrez, the man who's done it all so far in this game, has doubled and scored the run, made the spectacular catch on Alexi Casilla. And showing bunt, takes it inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The Mariners continue to hammer away at Glenn Perkins. Nicely done. Better hustle. And just in time getting over there. Perkins. Man, that's a close play. And here comes Wakamatsu.
Wow. It almost looked like Gutierrez maybe didn't step right on top of the bag, but it was really close.
Mike Riley is the crew chief of this umpiring crew, and he made the decision.
That was an excellent bunt.
Let's take a look at our Coors Light freeze cam from that play and see if he got there. It's a race. Wow. Hard to tell, isn't it?
It looks like Gutierrez ended up going a little bit wide trying to avoid the tag, and that may have cost him just that little bit. Very close play.
So a sacrifice by Gutierrez, and here's Sweeney now. We hit the ball hard, but to a sinking line drive to Gudyer back in the first inning. Seattle's plan, probably watching this game this morning back in Seattle area, Gig Harbor.
Gig Harbor. Spoke to Mike this morning about that. He's excited to get back into his home.
Got in on him and he pops it up. 2 down. Well, Beltre delivered in this situation in the first inning. Asked to do the same thing here in the third. Tomorrow, Ryan Roland Smith will get the call against left-hander Josh Outman of the Oakland Athletics. We understand that the game between the A's and the Angels tonight in Anaheim has been canceled because of the tragedy yesterday, so that may change tomorrow night.
I really like what Don is doing with the DH spot. Got some veteran guys that he's able to take care of. Beltre, the DH today. Junior's already DH'd a couple of times. Sweeney's been the DH. I think that's really going to help them over the course of the summer to get these guys off the field. I know Adrian would rather play third every day, but you get these early games after a night game. It's going to help these guys as the season goes on.
And he blocked him too tight inside. First base on balls given up by Mr. Perkins. And Jose Lopez will be the hitter. Glenn Perkins, 26 years of age. The native of St. Paul.
Good changeup from Perkins.
Outstanding changeup. Low outside corner. If it got the corner.
Jose Lopez has enjoyed this first series so far. 4 RBIs in the first 3 games, including a home run. Chance to add to that total.
I think he's going to have a great year. Started him off with a change, came back with a fastball. One on the outside corner, this on the inside corner.
See the tracer, that one right on the corner.
Still 2 strikes. But the Mariners will go with Ryan Rowan-Smith tomorrow. Felix will get his second start on Saturday afternoon. And Eric Bedard on Sunday afternoon. And finally, after a couple of months, the Mariners will get home. And he got it. Nice changeup again, thrown by the left-hander Glenn Perkins. And the Mariners leave 2 of them out there stranded. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, still 1-0. The bottom line here, is that 95 games or 9? Is it what? Can't read your writing. 1 more games, as only Hallis and Shula have won more games as a pro football head coach. Oh, okay. All right. So a 1-0 Mariner lead has, for the first couple of innings, Jared Washburn has mowed down everybody's face. And here's Carlos Gomez, the center fielder, leading it off in the 3rd inning. 1-0 the count to him. Mike Redmond to follow, and then Brendan Harris. Gomez 2 for 11. Previous 3 games. And a fly ball to fairly deep center field, and Yard's going to hold it. As Gutierrez is back there to make an easy catch this time. And time now for our Aflac trivia question answer. Who am I? 3-sport letterman at Minnesota. Played 2 seasons with the Lakers, the NFL Eagles. Spent his summers as a hired gun on the Midwest minor league baseball team, and inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 1994. The answer is the great stone face himself, Bud Grant. What a coach he was with the Vikings.
I was with you. I didn't realize that he played for the Lakers.
I didn't either.
Some kind of athlete.
And off the leg. And the throw to first base. They got him. What a play by Cedeno. What a play by Cedeno as Washburn got that off the shin, I believe, or the calf. And look at Cedeno go and get that and barehand it and throw a strike over to first base. What a play. So that's the second great defensive play by the Mariners. And look at that stretch by Sweeney.
Wow.
Over at first base.
Mariners catch a couple of breaks. The first one, that ball probably goes into center field, but it deflects off of Washburn. A great play by Cedeno. And then lastly, Redmond running, and he had some issues with his leg. He had a pulled groin, not getting down the line quite as good, but what a tremendous play.
And Sweeney did the splits over there at first base and bringing that one in too. Here's Brendan Harris. Barely outside. Doing one.
And Jared seems to be fine. It looked like that hit him somewhere around his knee. But he doesn't seem to be limping or anything, so he looks to be just fine.
A little low, so they count 3-1 on the number 9 hitter. There's the first base hit. Line drive into left center field. So Harris is aboard, but 2 away. We invite you to visit the official online shop of the Mariners at mariners.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic team gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your gear at mariners.com shop. This is Span and denied. Ball 1. 1 ball. And a little soft line drive into center and an easy play for Gutierrez. He's been a fairly busy man this afternoon in the first 3 innings. A hit, a man left, but after 3, the score is still the Mariners 1, Twins nothing. And today from Minneapolis, Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Taco Del Mar, home of the $4.99 Mondo Burrito. By the Washington Department of Ecology. Program your cell phone to report litterers. 1-866-LITTER-1. Litter, and it will hurt. And by Lithia. A better car buying experience starts at Lithia.com. Mike Flowers, I'm Dave Niehaus. Moving into the fourth inning of play here at the Metrodome. Vladimir Valentin accepts a strike, 0-1. Valentin, a comebacker to the mound in the second inning. Another base hit by the Mariners. They just keep pecking away. I mean, that's their fifth hit already. As Valentin drops one into left center field. Second inning in a row, the Mariners started off with the leadoff man on.
They've really done a nice job of getting their base hits and occasional walk to keep the pressure on the starters. As we mentioned the pregame, they're averaging over 5 runs a game so far, doing a nice job with that and putting pressure on. So eventually you'd like to see them bust loose with 2 or 3 runs in an inning.
Strike on the inside corner. Saw something while the sides were changing that I don't know if anybody else noticed. Bruce Hines, the Mariners' third base coach, ran out to the third base coach's box and was all set to go. Somebody yelled at him, "Get your helmet on." He had to run all the way back to the dugout to get his helmet. Of course, that's as of last year. The line coach is wearing helmets, and that's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Bruce Hines, by the way, perhaps of all the Mariner coaches, hit hardest with the loss of the Angel pitcher, being in the Angel organization last year. Nick Adenhart killed in that automobile accident last night. I'm sure he knew him quite well. There he is, only 22 years of age. The motorist running a red light in a van, ran from the van but was captured about a mile from the accident. Nick was a passenger and 2 others also died in that crash. Good change. And the third strikeout for Perkins. Good pitching in this series. Inside target, right back over the middle. Ground ball to second base, and by sending the runner, they stay out of the double play. So Valentin is in scoring position for Unieski. Uni, ground ball to second base, second inning.
One of the other things that the Mariners have done well offensively is out of the 16 runs they'd scored coming into this game, half of them have come with 2 outs. And, of course, the 1 run they've scored in the game today was with 2 outs. So they're coming up with some clutch base hits.
Yeah, that's huge, because how many times during the course of a long season do you sing that sad song, hitting with men with 2 outs in scoring position, unable to do anything about it? That will be that here in the 4th inning as Joe Freedy throws out Uniesky Betancourt. Again, another run left in scoring position. Still 1-0 Mariners. Well, friends, the Seattle Sounders FC continue their inaugural Major League Soccer campaign and look to remain undefeated this Saturday as they take on the Kansas City Wizards. Coverage gets underway Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. on FSN and FSN HD. Lexi Casilla robbed of a base hit by Gutierrez in the 1st inning. This time hits it to Cedeno. 1 away. Did you like to field balls on artificial turf? You always get a fairly true hop?
Yes, you do. Once I had the opportunity to play on it for probably 3 or 4 days, then I did. When I first came up, I didn't really like it too much, but then after you get to use it and you understand the hops and how the ball pick up speed on that second spin, that's great.
Look at that changeup. A breaking ball at that, right over the outside corner.
67 miles an hour.
I'm not sure I've seen that pitch from him.
I don't think I have either. But I think the other thing, too, is, just watching Cedeno make that play. The other thing you have is when you have the dirt cutouts, you have those seams, and you have to be aware of where they are because the ball can take a bad bounce off of that.
Fastball. And it's an easy pop-up out there. Gutierrez, the second out. There it is right there.
That's the same. And that one's not as bad as it's the one that's running directly with you. As he goes out a little bit further, you can see it right there. You get out on that one, they can kick sideways, and that's the one that can cause you some real problems.
Justin Morneau with the count 1-0. Did you say the greatest major leaguer to come out of Canada is Larry Walker?
Was Fergie Jenkins from Canada?
Yeah, but he was a pitcher. I'm talking about player.
I would say Larry. Yeah, Larry Walker.
Popped up and An easy play out there for Lopez, but Justin Morneau is making a pretty good name for himself from British Columbia. 1, 2, 3, and after 4, still 1-0 Mariners. A 1-0 lead moving into the 5th inning. And the first U.S. Bank Mariners matinee is Thursday, April the 23rd at 3:40. That's when the Mariners close out their series with the Rays. Take a late 9-inning lunch by spending the afternoon at the ballpark. For tickets, you can visit mariners.com. So the Mariners, their only run in the first inning, the third time through the lineup now for Glenn Perkins, and the breaking ball to Andy Chavez, a little high and inside ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Chavez. High and away. And into left center field, Gomez is going to get over there. This is one of those days, since we're playing day baseball, where you got a shot at losing the ball in the roof here. Sunny outside.
Right. These are tough ones. I was wondering on that little pop-up that went out there when Lopez was going out and Gutierrez ended up catching it. You have to stay with it the whole way and not take it for granted. Very pretty good view of it right there.
Strike to Gutierrez. 1 for 1 with the sacrifice. And another pop-up. Easily Gomez takes care of it. We think that Brett Anderson will be making his major league debut tomorrow night against Ryan Roland Smith. The first game of that series, 6:30. You will find us right here on the Mariners Television Network. There's the left-hander from down under. And Sweeney a pop-up. So 3 pop-ups, and this time the second baseman, Alexis Casilla, runs it down. 1, 2, 3. Rick Riz will be with you when we come back and tell you about the bottom half of the 5th. Still 1-0 Mariners.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Get all this stuff out of the way. We go to the bottom. Here's a look at our West game recap. 1-0 Mariners lead. Franklin Gutierrez in the top of the first inning with a double into the gap. Left center field off the fence. And then with 2 outs, Adrian Beltre, Mike Flowers comes up with a clutch hit.
Another 2-out base hit for the Mariners to score a run right here.
And right now that's the only run of the ball game. And Mike Flowers.
So far, that's all Jared's needed. He's been fantastic, giving up just the 1 base hit. He's not walking, guys. Has a really good command of the strike zone. I think his off-speed pitches so far have been tremendous.
Yeah. Good old-fashioned pitcher's duel here in the Metrodome. So Jared Washburn working quickly, throwing a lot of strikes, and that's a nice combination. Joe Creedy leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1 the count on Creedy. The only hit right now for the Twins, a Brendan Harris 2-out single in the 3rd inning. That has been it.
Another changeup right there from Jared. I like where he's missing with that pitch today. When he's throwing it off the plate, it's down and away. Doing just a really nice job with his changeup and then able to bust guys inside with his fastball.
Line drive left field. That's going to drop in, a base hit. Chavez has to play it on a hop. Only the 2nd hit for the Twins this afternoon off of Washburn. Brings up designated hitter Delman Young. This guy very aggressive early in the count. He likes to swing at that first pitch. So if you're Jared Washburn, what do you throw? What do you like to do against a
quality
like
strike? Don't throw him anything in the middle of the plate. Throw him a quality strike.
First pitch swinging, ground ball, backhanded by Uni. Over to second. On to first. Double play. Nicely turned by Betancourt, Lopez, and Swinney. 6-4-3. 2 outs for the Twins, and he went after the first pitch.
And it was a quality strike. It was a pitch down in the zone. Get the ground ball and see if you can get the double play, and it worked out great. Nice play by Betancourt, too. Take a look at this pitch. Down. Bang. Ties him up enough to where you get a nice ground ball. Nice play by Uni. A quick turn by Lopez.
Quick transfer. Here is Carlos Gomez, and he takes a strike from Washburn. 0-1. And Blow, when you got a pitcher throwing strikes like this, your defense is ready.
And that's something, too, you know, over the course of this now the 4th game. One of the things we really haven't talked too much about is what a great job the Mariners have done defensively.
Yeah.
Haven't made an error. They've done a nice job. The outfield, we've seen them cover a lot of ground. Tremendous catch by Gutierrez earlier in the ball game. But they are really doing a nice job defense. Nice play by Cedeno on the deflection off of Washburn. I mean, they're playing good defense.
And that's what keeps you in ball games. Next pitch is down and away on Gomez for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mike Swinney getting the start over at first base this afternoon. But you're right. What a gem turned in by Gutierrez. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch and a beauty. Knocked down by Johnson. Throws the first. Strikeout for Washburn. Put out goes 2-3. Strikeout number 3 for Washburn. After 5 innings of play, 1-0 Mariners. Okay. How we looking? Schedule. on the ball hit by Washburn. It's postponed? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. One nothing lead. The Mariners, some outstanding defense. Mike Blowers.
Just a long way, just some good ears, cover a lot of ground, and I really didn't think, even when he was going to dive for it, he was going to have a chance. What a tremendous catch. And then this right here, a deflection off of Washburn. Cedeno getting the start at third, stays with it, makes a tremendous play.
Off balance, bare hands, throws a bullet to Mike Sweeney across the diamond. So great defense by the Mariners in this ball game behind the pitching of Jared Washburn. A 1-0 Mariner lead. Top half of the 6th inning. And leading it off for the Mariners, designated hitter today, Adrian Beltre. Beltre has driven in the game's only run, and this guy is having an outstanding first start of the year. Washburn, slider down and in, ball 2, 2-0. But Mike, as a third baseman for years, and you were an outstanding defensive third baseman, you had to love working behind a guy that works quickly. Perkins is the same type of guy. He doesn't waste any time in throw strikes.
No, you do love it, and especially if you know the guy's going to be in the strike zone, I think is just as important. Get in the strike zone and know that the action's going to happen. Really keeps you on your toes. Stay involved in the game as Adrian's going to walk.
And we put the whammy on Mr. Perkins. Talking about throwing strikes, he walked him.
Good job, Rick.
Thank you very much. Let's take a look. The Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. And here's a look at that calendar. The Mariners take off after the game here in Minnesota. Head to Oakland to take on the A's tomorrow night, Saturday and Sunday afternoon. And look at that, April the 14th. We finally get a chance to come home. The Mariners home opener against the Angels for 3, the Tigers for 3, then an off day and 3 against the defending American League champion Tampa Bay Rays. Jose Lopez takes a look at ball 1. Time is called. Mike Redmond out to the mound.
Yeah, and as he goes out and talks to him, this is something that I haven't really seen before, Rick, and you tell me if not, but this is a great angle. You see their pitchers mounted where the first baseman is, and Beltre's over on first, obviously, but Lee Tinsley, you see the coach usually come up and talk to the base runner, give him an idea, but when you watch Lee and he takes his move back, he stays right in line. He's been doing this the entire series, and it looks like he gets just a tremendous view. He gets way, way up there. I mean, the first base coach's box, anywhere near him, but that's just a great view from a first base coach on a pickoff move, especially from a left-hander.
You know what I get from that, Mike? There's a strike on Jose Lopez, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Lee was a pretty good base runner. He could steal some bases.
And he works with the guys on that.
Yeah. So he's looking at the pitcher. He knows what to key in on that move to first base.
Yeah, we've talked about the stopwatch that he keeps for their time to home, but this right here, especially against the left-handers, you can see he gets a tremendous view, and if he picks something up, he can walk up and tell the base runner what he's seeing. I just think that's just a great idea. And typically you see the guys get walked back over towards the box after they've talked to the runner.
Ground ball hit hard, but foul along the third base line, and it's 1-2 on Lopez.
Any advantage you can get.
Yeah.
Any advantage you can get. And so far, Mike Riley hasn't yelled at him at all, so he's in good shape.
Get back in the box. You know, what the heck. Lee Tinsley, new first base coach, helping out Adrian Beltre. And he just said, back.
Yes, he did. Maybe he saw back before Adrian did, just to give him a little heads up.
Just doing his job. Yep. One on, nobody out, top of the 6th. Mariners lead 1-0. Broken bat, ground ball out to Casilla. He's going to start the base runner. Back goes to first base with the throw. Now they're going to get Adrian Beltre. Morneau flips over to Harris. They still have him in the rundown. And the toss over to Casilla, who puts the tag on Beltre. So they went to first base to get the out on Lopez, then down to Harris, and eventually wound back up to Casilla, who gets an assist and a put out.
I'm not sure Adrian knew whether he was, he's just right on his backside. And see Morneau, he's the one that knew that the play wasn't over, because Harris, I don't think, was paying attention. Nice play by the second baseman Casilla to stop Adrian from going to second, try to get his momentum going back before he makes that throw to first base.
Vladimir Valentin takes inside ball 1, and that's the key for the second baseman. You got to start driving the runner back. That way he doesn't have any momentum to try to go back to second base.
Right.
Beltre was all over the place in that rundown. Fouled away by Ballantine. 1 ball and 1 strike. Needs a little oxygen.
Guys are laughing at him right now.
Not much he could do.
Andy Chavez enjoying it.
2 outs, nobody on. Ballantine with a single to center field in the 4th inning takes way up high. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. You know, one thing watching this ball club, Mike, at spring training, they had a lot of fun. You know, they joked around a bit. They got the work done, but they had fun doing it. Fly ball straightaway center field. Gomez just coasting up. He's there and makes a catch for out number 3. And after 5.5 here in the Metrodome, Mariners lead the Twins 1-0. Really? Seattle Mariners baseball and FSN is brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By Money Tree. Visit moneytreeinc.com for a location near you. Money Tree, choices are good. And by Match 4s by Washington's Lottery. Play Match 4 today. Rick Riz along with Mike Flowers on this Thursday afternoon here in Minneapolis. 27 years of baseball in the Metrodome. That young man will be watching the game next year at their new ballpark, Target Field. 1-0 Mariners lead, bottom of the 6th inning. Jared Washburn has been outstanding. Mike Redmond leads it off and takes a look at ball 1. Here are the numbers for Jared, Blow.
I love seeing the goose egg up there on the walks. No walks for Jared today. I thought that was a pretty big key for him coming into the game.
Line drive, right center field, base hit for Mike Redmond. Leadoff single brings up shortstop Brendan Harris. Redmond grew up in Kirkland. At the age of 15, his family moved to Spokane. His family is still there, and I was talking with him before the game last night. He said he came out to a lot of games as a kid, watching you guys play in the Kingdome. I said, "Who was your favorite player?" He said, Dave Valley. He was a catcher, and Dave Valley was his favorite player.
He's done a nice job here in Minnesota. Found a home here and done a nice job for the Twins. I did notice one thing, though. He always plays hard, and watching him run to first base, I think that groin's still bothering him because he wasn't running very hard to first, and so he's playing with some pain today.
It was Redmond that hit that shot off the leg of Jared Washburn, and Ronnie Cedeno raced in, barehanded the ball, and got Redmond over at first base. It was back in the 3rd. Brendan Harris has one of the few hits for the Twins this afternoon against Jared Washburn. Base hit the left field in the 3rd inning. Fouls it away, 1-1. Harris came over to the Twins along with Delman Young from Tampa Bay last year. That was the trade where the Twins sent Matt Garza and Jason Bartlett to Tampa Bay. Turned out to be a really good trade for Tampa Bay. Bartlett was outstanding defensively at shortstop. Garza pitched well in the starting rotation. Fouled away by Harris. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think it worked out for both clubs, really. When you look at Young last year, a really young player, and hit .290, did a nice job for him. The upside for him is tremendous.
Talking with Joe Madden last year, the manager for Tampa Bay, he said Bartlett was their MVP. They had some pretty good players on that ball club that went to the World Series. Fouled away off the catcher, Rob Johnson, and the count is still 1-2 on Harris. A lot of trades, Mike. You see veteran guys. Here are the numbers for Jared Washburn: 60 pitches and a lot of strikes. Hard trades. You see veteran guys going to one club and then younger players in return to the other team. This involved 4 veteran guys. Popped up right side of the infield, calling for it. Jose Lopez is there and makes the easy catch. 1 out for Minnesota. Well, on Friday, April the 17th, when the Mariners open up a 3-game series with the Tigers, the first 20,000 fans receive an Ichiro bobblehead thanks to FSN. The 2009 bobblehead collection also features Brandon Morrow, Felix Hernandez, Franklin Gutierrez, Ken Griffey Jr., and the beautiful facade of Safeco Field. For tickets, visit mariners.com/bobble. Part of the crowd in the Metrodome this afternoon. 1-on-1 away for Denard Span. Pop up, shallow left field, going out Betancourt, coming in Andy Chavez, and Chavez on the run makes the catch. Good hustle by Andy Chavez. 2 outs for the Twins. Their outfielders cover a lot of ground, Blow.
Chavez really covers a lot of ground. He comes in a long ways for this. Turns it into a pretty routine catch.
So 2 outs for Minnesota. 1-0 Mariners lead, and here's second baseman Alexi Casilla. Nice play by Andy. Casilla robbed of an extra base hit by that great catch by Gutierrez in left center field in the first inning. Fastball for a strike, 1-1. Well, if you take a look at a team's ERA, chances are they've got a pretty good defense.
Chances are they have a pretty good defense and a pretty good catcher. And it was interesting today when we went down to listen to Don Wakamatsu speak before the game, and I asked him about Rob, the young catcher, and Don being a former catcher himself, how much do you talk to him the entire game? Is it pitch to pitch with him? Do you just wait till he makes a mistake? What are you going to do? He says, listen, he's got the scouting report. He's got a chance to know these pitchers. I like the way he started to take charge in spring training. We'll let him play, but if we pick something up that deviates from the scouting report we'll definitely talk to him about that. But for the most part, he said, he's comfortable with him and letting him call a game, and he's done a nice job so far working Jared and getting him through this game so far.
The catchers have a chance to call their own game. He said that pitch is way outside, ball 3, full count 3-2. Now, of course, there's going to be times during the course of the year where he's going to say, hey, listen, I want this pitch to this particular hitter. But basically, he's letting Robbie call the ball game.
Well, yeah, and the reason why I asked him the question was because there was some things that I think he disagreed with and wasn't happy about in the game last night. A couple of changeups that were thrown.
Fly ball into right field. Backing up, Valentin is there, and Vladimir puts it away for out number 3. No runs, a hit, and a man left on after 6 innings of play. Fantastic job by Jared Washburn. 1-0 Mariners. 1-0 Mariners. Time now for Banner Bank building to the future. How about the future for this guy right here? 30-year-old right-hander Chris Jakubowskis making his major league debut last night. So he went 2 scoreless innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk. That was an intentional walk, and he struck out 2.
See the good fastball from him. Really had nice command of his fastball. This is a big pickoff. They ended up getting himself out of some trouble.
What a play. So plenty of butterflies, but the kid got the job done. Chris Jakubowskis last night, his first game of the big leagues. His mom and dad here at the ballpark. Robbie Johnson sends a fly ball into the gap. On the run, Gomez and Span. It's going to be Gomez who makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Top of inning number 7. I was talking with Chris before the game this afternoon. I said, what about the butterflies coming into the ball game? He said, I was nervous. Obviously, it's my major league debut, but I was thinking about just the situation. Here it is, a 1-run game. My job is to, keep it a 1-run game. He said, when I was done after the 2 innings, then it really hit me. I made my major league debut.
Which is a great way to do it if you can.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with the poise that he showed when he ended up coming out on the mound, throwing strikes right away, which is something he did all spring training long. That's one of the reasons why he made the club. And he came in throwing strikes. Had a really good breaking ball last night. You see Mark Lowe to his right. Mark was electric with what he did. Really good slider out of him last night. Of course, Roy a couple nights ago pitched well.
Roy had 2 scoreless innings. Mark Lowe last night had that slider working and his fastball inside on Cedeno for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ronnie. 30 years of age, major league debut. Ground ball fouled along the third base line. Still 1-2 on Cedeno. Ronnie 1 for 2 with a single to right field back in the second. He was in left field last night. Fastball is inside, ball 2, 2-2. And Blow, you take a look at the guys that new GM Jack Zarincic brought in. There's a lot of versatility there. Ronnie Cedeno can play the infield and the outfield. Andy Chavez can play all 3 outfield positions. Coming over in that trade from the Mets for J.J. Putz.
I just think having the flexibility is a great thing for any manager, and I like the fact that they don't have what you would consider an everyday designated hitter, even though the guy that's going to be the designated hitter is a quality major league hitter. Because it gives guys a chance to get off the field. Today, Adrian Beltre, who's going to be their everyday third baseman, gets a chance to DH. We've seen Junior DH a couple of times. Sweeney, who's playing first, as DH. To me, I think that's really going to help over the course of a long summer to keep all those guys fresh. All of them would prefer to be in the field.
Right.
But you get these short days where you have a night game and you come back for an early day game. I think it's going to help over the course of the summer.
Well, you brought up a good point. You get these guys into games right away. April, May, and June fouled away by Cedeno. Now the manager, when he puts these guys in later on in September, as you talked about, they could do the things the manager has asked them to do because they've had that opportunity to do it. Get the at-bats.
Right.
Get the innings.
More of the extra guys like Cedeno getting an opportunity to play 2 days in a row. He was in left field yesterday, playing third today is going to help him.
Fouled away again by Ronnie. Still 2-2.
I think that is going to become a little more difficult when Ichiro comes back because he's obviously going to play every day. And, you start setting things up a little bit more. But get him there at-bats when you can. You see Cedeno really making Perkins work.
Here's pitch number 10 to him. And he fouls it away. And the count is still 2 balls and 2 strikes. 10 pitch at bat. What's going through Perkins' mind right now? He's throwing him everything but the kitchen sink.
He's thinking, please just hit it and hit it at somebody.
Into center field, going back of the ball. Carlos Gomez is there, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Don't do it. That's what Bob Casey used to say, the longtime public address announcer here in the Metrodome. I used to love Bob Casey, the way he worked here and this building. Yuniesky Betancourt takes a look at strike one. There's Bob Casey, who's in the Twins Hall of Fame, the PA announcer from the time the Twins showed up here from Washington in 1961, and then for the many years here in the Metrodome. He passed away a few years ago, but when he would give the announcement, Mike, about no smoking in the Metrodome, he would add, "Don't do it."
I used to laugh because I'm sure he knew it, but Kent Herbeck, the great first baseman for the Twins, would always be acting out whatever he was talking about on the field.
Oh, yeah?
It's tremendous.
This is Bob's son, Joe Casey, one of our cameramen here at the Metrodome. How you doing, Joe? We loved your father. Brought a great deal of him. And there he is, the one and only Bob Casey. Long-time PA announcer here in Minnesota. Way up and in. Uni ducks away. Ball 2, 2-2 the count. Bob was a great friend to the couple of guys you just mentioned, Ken Herbeck and Kirby Puckett. During the World Series of 1987, they locked Bob in the bathroom. This is during the World Series game. Fouled away on the third base side, and the count is still 2-2. So, you know, the inning is over, the half inning is over, and there's no public address announcer. Bob's locked in the bathroom by Kirby Puckett and Ken Herbeck. They finally, of course, let him out. And that's where Bob would sit, right behind home plate, to work and do the game so the guys could get to him. Fouled away on the first base side. Can you imagine that in a World Series game?
He must have had a pretty good sense of humor, too.
Maybe not that night. Oh, I miss Kirby. Kirby passed away 3 years ago. Hall of Famer with the Twins. A great smile. Up and in on Betancourt, ball 3, full count 3-2. He was a beauty. Trevor used to call me Rizzy. Hey, Rizzy. How you doing, Rizzy? After every question, well, Rizzy. Really miss him. Kirby Puckett. That smile, the energy that he played the game, the fun that he brought here to Minnesota for 12 years. Huge home run in Game 6. His number 34 retired. Game 6 of the World Series against the Atlanta Braves in 1991. Swinging a foul back by Betancourt in the 11th inning. That tied the series at 3-3. And then Jack Morris shut out the Braves in Game 7 in 10 innings, 1-0 to win the series in 91. Glenn Perkins has thrown 19 pitches, Blow, to the last two hitters, Cedeno and Betancourt. Well, 20 pitches.
That's a good thing to make him work. I think he only threw 6 pitches the inning before, and he was cruising right along, and now he's up to 89 pitches because of the work of Cedeno and Betancourt.
Pitch number 10 coming up to Uni. Don Wakamatsu and Alan Cockrell have to like this. There's the new hitting coach, Alan Cockrell. They wanted Uni to be more patient. Fly ball deep down the left field line. Hooking foul. Well out of play, foul, and the count is still 3-2. That was pitch number 10. And that was pitch number 90 thrown by Glenn Perkins. Both starters have gone all the way. Here's the pitch count by inning, Blow. 22 pitches here in the 7th for Perkins.
He was really cruising until this inning.
Pitching coach Rick Anderson. Popped up. Right center field over is Michael Kadire. He's there and makes a catch. A couple of long battles with Cedeno and Betancourt, but Perkins retires the side in order. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Mariners lead 1-0.
Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, welcoming Rock of Love, Bret Michaels, May 8th and 9th. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com.
50 degrees and sunny in downtown Minneapolis. Next year, they're going to be playing outside a brand new Target Field. Michael Kadire leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. Mariners lead 1-0. Jared Washburn has been outstanding blow. He's given up only 3 hits. Whoa, what a stop by Washburn. Nice play, and he gets Kadire at first base. So plenty of defense by the Mariners this afternoon, and now Washburn gets in the act.
Well, he's helped himself out a couple of times, being in good position so that he can make a play.
Four nice plays turned in by the Mariners behind the pitching of Washburn. 1 out for the Twins, and here's first baseman Justin Morneau. Young man from New Westminster, British Columbia. Fastball strike, 0-1. Morneau 0 for 2. Struck out of the second. He's popped up to Jose Lopez. 1-1. Down on away ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Morneau with a home run last night. That came on a changeup. There was some debate talking about Carlos's changeups last night. Another home run came on a changeup. But Blow, it's not always the wrong pitch. A lot of times it's the wrong location. Line drive, right field line, a base hit for Morneau. Over the ball quickly. Ballantine gets a throw in to keep Morneau to a 1-out single. It was Morneau's hustle on a base hit that he got into second base late in the ball game that led to what turned out to be the go-ahead run.
Take a look at the swing of Morneau. Nice job. Stays behind the pitch. He is so strong.
Double play in order as Ballantine got that throw in a hurry. 1-on-1 away for third baseman Joe Crede. He takes a strike, 0-1.
It's like Roy Corcoran's up in the pen for the Mariners. Jared up to 75 pitches.
Line drive, left center field. Gutierrez on the run, and he makes the catch. That ball came back a little bit. So 2 outs in the inning. Back to first goes Justin Morneau.
They almost overran it, Rick. He's such a good jump on it, and it did it. Maybe there was a little bit of a knuckle to it, and he has to reach back to make the catch. Nice play. Good concentration to stay with it. It'll happen a lot out towards center field where the hitter will hit it on the button, and it'll just knuckle out there. Good play.
So 2 outs for the Twins with Morneau on at first base, and the batter is designated hitter Delman Young. Watch out the first pitch. Well, he takes it. Ball 1. First 2 at bats. First pitch swinging, bounced out twice to short last time into a 6-4-3 double play. In the air down the right field side, shallow. Fouled out by the Mariner bullpen where Corcoran is warming up, and the count is even on Young at 1-1. Very nice job a couple of nights ago in really 2 scoreless innings. The story this afternoon, the pitching of this guy right here, Jared Washburn from nearby Webster, Wisconsin. Grew up here in the upper Midwest. Inside on Young for ball 2, 2-1. Pitch count for Jared Blow.
He's done a great job working here in the 7th inning. 79 pitches. Oh, he's in good shape.
Getting deep into the game in his first start of the year. Line drive, left center field. Gutierrez on the move and makes the catch on the run. Franklin Gutierrez has been all over the place this afternoon. No runs, a hit, and a man left on. We go to the top of the 8th. Mariners 1 and the Twins nothing. Oh, I don't want to do it. One nothing. Mariners lead the Twins as we go to the top of the 8th inning here in the Metrodome. Say the best high school basketball players in the country do battle with a team of the world's finest players 19 years old and younger this Saturday at the Nike Hoop Summit. In action will be Tacoma native Abdul Gadi, recognized as the top point guard in the nation, and on his way to join Lorenzo Romar and the Washington Huskies next season in Seattle. The Nike Hoop Summit live from the Rose Garden in Portland Saturday at 7 p.m. on FSN and FSN HD. Leading it off for the Mariners, top of the 8th, Endy Chavez with ball 1. One and one. Right-hander Luis Ayala warming up for the Twins. Endy 1 for 3 this afternoon. A single back in the 3rd inning. Pops one up and out of play on the third base side. 1 and 2. Both starters have gone all the way. Glenn Perkins now has thrown 94 pitches. The only run of the game came way back in the top of the 1st inning with 1 out. Franklin Gutierrez doubled, then with 2 outs. Adrian Beltre lined a single into center field to score Gutierrez, and that has been it. Ground ball left side, right to the shortstop Harris, and he gets Chavez at first base. 1 away. That'll bring up Franklin Gutierrez. Here's a look at the Mariner box score. Gutierrez played a big role at this point in the ball game. Beltre 1 for 1 with the RBI single. Right now, Mike, the thing that really stands out besides the pitching of Washburn has been the defense.
It's been outstanding. And this guy right here has been all over the place. Well, really doing a nice job of covering the left center field gap.
Last year, Gutierrez played right field because Grady Sizemore was in center field and will be there for a long time with the Cleveland Indians. But Gutierrez last year was rated the top right fielder in the American League by the Fielding Bible. John Dewan is the author of the Fielding Bible. We had him as a guest on one of our Cactus League reports down in Peoria in March. Inside on Franklin, ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. And Gutierrez is every bit as advertised defensively. Fastball for a strike, 3-1. That was the 100th pitch for Glenn Perkins. Two hopper to third. Short hop taken by Joe Creedy. Toss across in time to get Gutierrez 2 outs in the inning. Well, the Mariners at Boeing tip their caps to the youngest of fans, the kids, on Sunday, April the 19th at 1:10 in the afternoon. All kids 14 and under pick up a stylish replica Ichiro jersey as part of Salute to Kids Day. For tickets, visit mariners.com. Looking forward to getting home. There's the youngster enjoying the game this afternoon here in the Metrodome. Mariners home opener April the 14th against the Angels. First baseman Mike Sweeney fouls one away, 0-1. How's CJ's baseball team doing, Flo?
Watching it rain a lot.
Really?
Yeah. It's been tough for the kids up in the Northwest so far early in the spring.
Did CJ have a shutout going the other day and it was rained out?
Well, that was a few weeks ago.
Sweeney sends one out of play down the right field side, 0-2 the count. Yeah, I wasn't too pleased as a kid when it rained. Had a chance of playing a Little League ball game. Very disappointed.
Yeah.
Fouled away on the third base side. Still 0-2 on Mike. Sweeney had the surgeries on both knees last year. Played in only 42 games with the Athletics. healthy. Made the ball club come in out of spring training. He'll play some at first base. He'll DH. Way out in front of the plate. Bounces away from the catcher. Redmond, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Manager Ron Gardenhire in his 8th year as the skipper of the Twins, taking over from Tom Kelly, who managed the ball club for 16 seasons. So the Twins with 2 managers over the last 24 years. Swing and a miss, and a change, and he foul tip it. No, he just missed. The ball popped out of the glove of Mike Redmond. A strikeout, that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. What a duel. Mariners won, the Twins nothing. One nothing Mariners lead as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning here in the Metrodome. Tragedy last night in the Angels family. 22-year-old right-hander Nick Aidenhart was killed in a car accident late after the ball game last night. The car that he was riding in was hit by another car going through a red light. Nick Aidenhart passing away at the age of 29. Started the game last night. Pitched 6 scoreless innings. Our thoughts and prayers, condolences go out to the Aidenhart family and to the Angels family. Their game today has been postponed, and rightly so. Carlos Gomez lines one foul down the left field line, and it's 0-2 on Gomez. We're going to be in Oakland tomorrow for game 1 of a 3-game series. Ryan Roland Smith will make his 09 debut, and Brett Anderson will get the start for the year,
making his major league debut.
Swing and a miss, off speed pitch, strike 3. Jared Washburn strikes out Carlos Gomez. That is strikeout number 4 for Washburn. 1 out for the Twins, bottom of the 8th. That's a pitch that he really worked on, Mike, during the spring. That changeup, he's had good location with.
Well, he started working on it last year. Actually, just didn't have that good a feel for it. And I think, you know, we talked about it quite a bit with him last year. I felt like it was a pitch that's really going to benefit him. And it certainly has today. And you just continue to throw and get a better feel. He's had a good one today.
Catch of Mike Redmond. With the count 2-0, he's 1 for 2. One of the few hits off of Jared. A single to center field in the 6th inning. And that's ball 3. 3-0 to count. Down to the bullpen for the Twins.
You have Ayala and Nathan. Nathan on the left.
Joe picked up his first save of the year last night. He had 39 saves last year from Minnesota. Fastball gets in there, 3-1. Another thing about Washburn this afternoon, Blow, is that, you know, he doesn't waste any time. Gets the ball, gets the sign, here it comes.
He's always been like that.
Popped up and out of play. Full count, 3-2. Keeps your defense in the game, keeps you in the game. Get in the groove, you stay there. Mr. Gardenhire being a little patient inside that dugout. Just missed. Ball 4. So Mike Redmond walks. And we're going to have a pinch runner for Redmond. Nick Punto goes out to pinch run. 1 on and 1 away. And the batter will be Brendan Harris. So put Punto on at first base with 1 out.
And with that, looks like Ardsma will get up and start throwing in the pen.
So David Ardsma getting loose down in the Mariner bullpen. Pitched a couple of nights ago. Down the right field line. Slicing foul and beyond the reach of Ballantine into the crowd. 0-1 on Harris. Mariners 1 run, 5 hits. Minnesota no runs, 4 base hits. Washburn doing his job today. He's thrown 90 pitches. Ground ball, base hit, left field. That'll send Punto down to second. Up for the ball is Endy Chavez. A base hit for Brendan Harris, and the Twins have the tying run on its second base.
Well, it's a ground ball. Jarrett trying to get a ground ball. He gets it, but it finds a hole this time. Bedcore not able to get it.
First time in the ball game that the Twins have had 2 base runners on in the same inning. Time is called. Pitching coach Rick Adair heading out to the mound to have a talk with Washburn.
I'm sure he's going to ask how he's feeling, make sure he's not too tired. It also gives Ardsma out in the pen another chance to get a few more throws in so that he's ready to go.
Ardsma getting loose down in the bullpen. Washburn looking for a ground ball to try to get out of the inning, but due up next blow is Denard Span. This guy can fly. He's popped up to left. He's flying out 3 times. 91 pitches for Jarrett.
And he's going to be a tough guy to double up because he runs so well. He and Casilla, the next 2 hitters.
20,105 this afternoon. They're starting to make some noise here in the Metrodome. 1-0 Mariners lead. Strike 1 and Span. Jarrett's been able to work both sides of the plate. Throw his breaking ball for a strike. Mix in the changeup. Punto on at second. Brendan Harris, the runner at first base. Ball 1, 1-1. New manager Don Wakamatsu going through some signs. Fastball just misses outside. Ball 2, 2-1. Jared wanted that pitch but didn't get it from home plate umpire Scott Berry. And it was a little bit up and outside. Pops it up into shallow left center field. Coming up, Franklin Gutierrez. He's there to make the catch. 2 outs in the inning, and the runners have to stay and blow a mighty big second out for Jared Washburn.
Well, it was the fact that he was able to come back and throw some strikes and make Span swing the bat. Big out. Again, when you're in a 1-run game, they're all big, right? You can't make too many mistakes. Jared's been outstanding. Really hasn't been in too much trouble today.
First time, as we mentioned, the Twins with 2 runners aboard in the same inning. That's how consistent, how good Washburn has been. So now he's got to take a look at second baseman Alexi Casilla, who's 0 for 3 because of a great play by Gutierrez to rob Casilla of a hit in the first inning. 2-hopper to short. Up with the ball. Tricky hop is Betancourt. His flip to first, and it's in time to get Casilla. And Jared Washburn gets out of an 8th inning jam. 2 left on. We go to the top of the 9th. Mariners still lead 1-0. Why don't you want to talk to Curtis?
Yeah.
Casilla?
He may not. Who was running on first? Let's see. No, I'm looking at first.
Oh, first
Harris
base.
runs pretty well.
Yeah.
I think he makes the play either way. I just think the big. Yeah. Thanks.
Want to talk to Curtis anymore? Nothing Mariners. We go to the top half of the ninth inning here in the Metrodome. Say, why mark your calendar with every Mariners game when you can pick up a Mariners calendar on Thursday, April the 16th? That's when the Mariners wrap up their series with the Angels, and the first 20,000 fans will take home a special Safeco Field 10th anniversary calendar presented by Verizon Wireless. For tickets, visit Mariners.com. 20,000 plus here in the Metrodome, top half of the ninth inning. We have a new pitcher and a new catcher. The new catcher is young Jose Morales. As we go to the ninth, and the new pitcher is right-hander Luis Ayala. Takes over from Glenn Perkins, who pitched very well this afternoon, but he leaves trailing 1-0. Leading things off, designated hitter Adrian Beltre has driven in the only run of this game with an RBI single back in the first inning. 0-1 on AB. And he has walked twice. Fouled away off the foot of Beltre. Ouch. 0-2. Last year, Beltre played with a torn ligament in his thumb, a bad left shoulder. Both were operated on.
Hamstrings bothering him from time to time. Never came out of the lineup. It was amazing.
Every day he was in there. Activity down in the Mariners bullpen.
Brandon Morrow.
Fouled away on the first base side, and the count is still 0-2 on Beltre. So Brandon Morrow getting loose down to the pen. Ron Wakamatsu will get him right back up on that saddle after what happened a couple of nights ago, and that's a good thing.
Yeah,
get him back in there.
It was. I think the one thing that this morning that we were talking about is the fact that Brandon's been up 3 days in a row. Would he be available? And they said, yeah, he talked to him, felt good, wanted to get him back out there as quickly as possible.
Fastball down and away, missing Ayala with that pitch to Beltre. Ball 1-2. The left-hander down in the Minnesota bullpen is Craig Breslow. Mariners trying to even up the series. Won on opening night 6-1 3 nights ago. Inside, ball 2. Mike, I think that left foot or left ankle is still barking. He can't put a lot of weight on it.
Those usually don't go away for about 15-20 minutes.
So he's got to wait another 12 minutes.
About right.
2-2. Ground ball down the third base line. Diving stop. Joe Creedy gets up, but no throw. Holy smokes, what a play by Creedy. Base hit for Beltre. And that ankle is still bothering him, but what a play defensively by Creedy to take a double away from Beltre.
This actually looks like it hits a piece of the base and bounces up, and he has to reach back up, making it even more difficult. You can see him going low and then have to adjust his glove on the dive. Tremendous play.
You're right, it looked like it tipped off the back part of the bag. So 1 on. The Mariners looking for an insurance run, and here's Jose Lopez. Turns the bunt and takes a strike from Ayala. 0-1. Glenn Perkins, the starter, goes 8 innings this afternoon. Gives up 1 run on 5 hits. He walked 2 and he struck out 4. Through 106 pitches. There goes Beltre, little hit and run. Ground ball to the shortstop. Harris over to Casilla.
Wow.
The throw to first in time, and Casilla took a hit by Beltre. He hung in there.
You really have to give him a lot of credit, a lot of courage for him. Adrian Beltre, he goes into second base hard. Nothing wrong with it. It's a clean play. Nice play right there, but you can see him go right in there and just take his feet out from under him. Not trying to hurt him, just bust up the double play and give Casilla a lot of credit for hanging in there. That's a nice turn.
So Beltre off and running with the pitch, was able to get down the line to get a piece of Casilla, but he hung right in there and was able to make the turn and turn the double play. So 2 outs, and here's Vladimir Valentin with a strike. At least I thought it was. I thought Barry came up with that right arm, but it wasn't. Make it ball 1. Line drive, left field line, just fair in toward the corner. Valentin heading for second. Up with the ball is Denard Span, so the Mariners have another shot to get to Ayala here in the top half of the 9th. Second hit for Vladimir Valentin. Let's take a look at today's Fan Pulse question from our pregame today. Which new Mariners player has impressed you the most? Chris Jakubauskas, Andy Chavez, Franklin Gutierrez, 25%, Russell Branyan. Jakubauskas last night, 30 years of age, making his major league debut. Very impressive, 2 scoreless innings. Here's Rob Johnson looking for a clutch hit with 2 outs. A 1-0 Mariner lead, trying to add 1 more. Time called by Robbie. Rob saw his first major league game right here in the Metrodome years ago. He grew up in Montana. Family came to Minneapolis to watch a big league game. Now he's playing in one here. Line drive back up the middle into center field. Valentin heading home. Up with the ball is Gomez. The throw goes to second base. Clutch RBI single with 2 outs for Rob Johnson. The Mariners have a 2-0 lead. First hit of the year, first start for Rob Johnson to drive in a big run here in the 9th inning for the Mariners.
Fastball out over the plate, does a nice job. Short, compact swing. Solid base hit. Mariners again with another 2-out RBI.
Beltre had 1 in the first, and now Rob Johnson 1 here in the 9th. Ronnie Cedeno pops one up into shallow right field over toward the line. Coming in Kadire, going out Casilla. And it's Casilla who makes the catch to end the inning. But the Mariners get a mighty big run, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last try for the Twins. It's the Mariners 2 and the Twins nothing. And here comes Brandon Morrow. It's now the Mariners 2 and the Twins nothing. Bottom half of the ninth inning, and manager Don Wakamatsu has made a lot of changes. The designated hitter is out of the ball game. He's in the game at third base now, Adrian Beltre. And Ronnie Cedeno, who was at third base, is now at second base. And Jose Lopez, who was at second, is now at first base, replacing Mike Sweeney, and into the ball game. And a big appearance right here coming up for Brandon Morrow.
See if Brandon can bounce back from the other night. The big thing right here is that all the changes on the infield. Don Wakamatsu getting as much range and hands as he can on the infield to help Brandon out, protect his lead.
So Brandon Morrow last year appeared in the 45 ball games, also as a starter for a few games. Jared Washburn absolutely outstanding this afternoon. 8 innings for Washburn. Gave up only 5 base hits. No runs. 8 scoreless innings for Jared Washburn.
Yeah, just the one walk. He was tremendous today. Commanded both sides of the plate. Threw all of his pitches. At one point, he threw a couple of breaking balls at 67 miles an hour. Good changeup. Did a nice job.
So here's Brandon Morrow to take a look at Michael Kadire, Justin Morneau, and Joe Crede, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Twins. Way up high, ball 1. Now, if you recall, a couple of nights ago, Brandon retired the first 2 batters with a 2-run lead in the bottom half of the ninth inning, then could not throw a strike. He walked the next 3 hitters, who eventually came around to score on base hits by Span and Casilla, and the Twins came back to win that ball game 6-5. And now time is called. Rob Johnson right away goes out to the mound after Brandon goes to 2-0 on Michael Kadire.
I like the fact that Adrian Beltre, the veteran, goes to the mound too, just trying to calm him down a little bit. He's throwing hard again.
Don Wakamatsu gets Brandon right out there. He's his closer. Kadire 0 for 3 on the day. And that pitch is way outside for ball 3. And he falls way behind Kadire, 3-0. And that pitch misses outside. A 4-pitch walk to Kadire. 1 on for the Twins. And that'll bring up first baseman Justin Morneau. Brandon takes a little time out to the right side of the mound. Morneau 1 for 3 with a line drive single down the right field line, his last time up in the 7th inning. Brandon looking to find that strike zone. And he gets it in there. First pitch strike to Morneau. Kadire lead at first base. Up and away for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The other night, Brandon was talking about his stride to home plate was off. He was stepping more towards the third base side, having a throw across his body. It looks to me today he's in line with where he wants to go. He just needs to get the ball down a little bit. Everything is up.
Swing and a miss at a fastball that was up and in. 1-2 the count on Morneau. He chased an off-speed pitch up and in from Jared Washburn earlier this afternoon.
Well, that's not off speed. That's 96 miles an hour that he's not going to be able to catch up there.
High heat from Morneau, the change from Washburn. Fouled away. And the count is still 1-2 on Justin. What a day for Jared Washburn. 8 scoreless innings, gave up only 5 hits. fan comes away with a souvenir. Fastball on the outside corner, got him looking. Brandon Morrow paints the outside corner with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, strikes out Morrow, one away.
A perfect pitch. He throws it right on the outside corner after tying him up with a couple of fastballs in. Take a look at it. It's just a perfect pitch. Nice frame job by Johnson, too. Does a nice job of receiving that pitch.
Right there on the corner, one on, one away, and here is Joe Creedy. Creedy is 1 for 3 with a single. Strike on 1. Mariners a 2-0 lead. 2 runs and 8 base hits. Creedy with the White Sox the last 9 years. Down low, 1-1. Brandon, because of an illness, then the injury, didn't pitch that much during the course of the spring. Worked only 4 innings.
Had some sort of tightness in his forearm, set him back.
Finally got into some games late in the spring. Swing and a miss at a fastball, and the count 1-2 on Creedy. It was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball blow.
Well, even the other night when he was having his problems, his fastball was electric. He had a great fastball. He has it again today.
Trying to find the strike zone with it. Another 98, low though, ball 2, 2 balls. And
pretty good pitch.
Wow. One on, one out. Fastball got him looking. Strike 3 called right on the inside corner. Creedy doesn't like it, but back-to-back strikeouts for Brandon Morrow. 2 outs for the Twins. There's a look at that pitch.
See Rob Johnson. Creedy doesn't like it. You can take another look at it.
That was the same edge of the plate, but it was on the outside corner to Morneau, on the inside corner to Creedy. So he found the mark. Back-to-back strikeouts. The Twins are down to their final out. What a confidence boost for Brandon Morrow if he can get Jason Kubel right here. Kubel pinch hitting for Delman Young.
And with the left-handed hitter, Lopez will play behind the runner at first.
0-1 on Kubel. Pretty good job off the bench, huh? 400 average last year. Runner takes off, broken bat, fly ball into right center field. This is going to do it. Gutierrez there to make the catch, and the ball game is over. Man, Brandon Morrow really needed that. He picks up his first save of the year, and what a performance by Jared Washburn as the Mariners shut out the Minnesota Twins 2-0.
Well, Jared Washburn, he'll be the story in the morning when they're talking about this game. He was outstanding command at both sides of the plate. Very good changeup. Nice win to split the series for the Mariners.
Good to see that kid go out there and throw strikes.